Hey, good morning. Louie V here from Vinyl Latte, giving you a channel update on Friday the 4th, Friday the 4th, 2024. And it is early here. I got up early just to put some notes together for you all and hit and record. I haven't even got ready in the morning. I'm sitting here in my robe drinking a cup of Joe because it is Vinyl Latte, where we talk about coffee. Well, sorry, see, early. We talk about records while drinking coffee. And in this episode is really just give you an update on what's going on in my life, what are some of the cool things that are coming forth in the channel. This episode is really for the fans of Vinyl Latte that really want to know what's going on behind the scenes. So if you're new to the channel, I might recommend that you go check out a different video in the channel because this one's really made for the fans. And if that's you, thank you, man. This has been an amazing journey. We are just approaching 4,000 subs. I think we're less than 10 away, which is insane to me because I watched my video from last month, my channel update from last month, and I was just saying how amazing it was to hit 3,000 subs. We had 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs in 1 month, which for a new channel, this channel's 6 months old, is phenomenal. And you know why? It's because of you. It's because of you at home watching these videos, sharing them with your friends, liking, commenting, interacting. That's why all of that, when you do that, when you share a video, when you like a video, when you subscribe and notify, this is why YouTube people ask for these things, is because it tells YouTube people care about the content that you're creating, so it's going to get that content out to more folks. And because you've been so active in the community, it's really pushing this channel out. So thank you for that. I've also been doing my hard work. I released a video content, some sort of asset, for 5 weeks straight, every day for 5 weeks. That is a lot of content. That is a lot of content. Did it for 5 weeks straight, whether it was a short, a regular full-length video. I got you at least something to watch, and I think that really helped as well. So between you guys out there, you know, sharing this channel with your friends, interacting with the video, with the likes and the comments, and me just constantly trying to pull out content, it's really helping. And next month, this month coming up, October, it's going to be no less. I'm not backing off the gas at all. I'm going full bore. Gonna have another month where I try to give you a full month worth of nonstop content, whether it's shorts or videos. And man, I'm gonna share some of that with you here in a moment. I also have a very specific ask for the fans of this channel I'm gonna get to near the end. So stick into the end because I have an ask. I have a favor to ask, and it's an opportunity for y'all to directly contribute to this channel's content. So if that excites you, if that's something that you're interested in, you would like to be maybe featured on Vinyl Latte, stick to the end. I got some ideas I want to share with you. You know, it's been a lot of positivity this month. It's also been a little bit of a sad month for us here. As some of you know, I live in North Carolina. I'm actually drinking out of my North Carolina coffee cup this morning, which is, if you've ever come to North Carolina, we have a beautiful state. This is a gorgeous state. We have the mountain ranges and the beaches. We have everything in between. We're very centrally located on the East Coast, easy to get up to, you know, New York, Philadelphia. We can also be down in Florida, sitting on some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, about the same travel distance. International airport, can pretty much travel anywhere, have nonstop flight to Europe. So it's such a beautiful state. And we were recently impacted really heavily with, you know, the hurricane. And I got to tell you, it was nerve-wracking for us. Now, in my little area, let me just get this out of the way. In my little area, all we got was wind and rain. It wasn't anything severe, okay? Some local flash flooding, some inconvenience, some grocery store shelves being cleared out. Listen, that's survivable, right? That's just an inconvenience. It's not going to disrupt your life. But I got friends, my wife and I, we got friends in Asheville and the surrounding area. We also got colleagues that work out there as well, and they've been devastated. You know, those folks, they don't have electricity. They don't have cell phone service. The cell phone service there is horrible. They don't have any means to really get food and clean water. They're sending literally mules up into the mountains to try to help people. I was talking to somebody recently, and they were sharing that in a backyard, there's cars just on the mountainside that got washed up from the flooding, and these cars are stuck on the mountainside, and they don't even know if there's people in them or not. And this was now a week, so if there were people in those cars, you can almost presume the worst. Now, I'm not trying to start this off downtrodden, but I'm doing what I can. We've donated to UniClef. We're trying to buy supplies. We're trying to be good citizens here to support our neighbors. Everybody that we know has checked in. Finally, it took them a long time, so we have a little bit of peace of mind, but we were trying to do wellness checks, man. We were trying to call on wellness checks for people we know. This is how much it's impacted us. I'm sharing this with you because if it is something you care about, I am going to share the UniClef donation link that we used in the link below. It's no affiliation to me. Don't feel obligated. Nobody's asking you to do anything. But I can tell you the community needs it. What I'm realizing is it's not getting very much national attention. Only thing that's getting national attention is how many deaths there's been. But they're not really sharing all the struggles right now and the lack of help and people still stranded, which I think the main reason or not is just because the news channels can't even get into Asheville. All the major roads are blocked. The major highway, it's called I-40. It goes literally from our East Coast all the way to the West Coast, is now blocked, closed indefinitely. They're saying it's at least going to be a year or more to just get that connected back to Tennessee. So we lost our access into Tennessee. You have to go up through Virginia to come down to Tennessee now. So it's just been a situation, man. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because, it pulled me away from the content for a little bit. But luckily, I've been recording in advance. So when the hurricane did hit and we kind of had sort of the aftermath of trying to just focus on what we can do to be good citizens, I already had content in the queue for you. But what I am now is out of content. So that's why I'm literally recording this on a Friday morning, drinking Joe with you at home to talk about the channel. So did do some exciting things this month. Had an opportunity to get out to experience Vinyl, which some of you might be familiar with. They're an online record store and label. They produce a lot of exclusive albums. They have some new albums coming out in the future, including this one. This is, I'm going to talk about this on a future episode. I'm actually going to cover my Experience Vinyl visit on a separate episode, so I'm not going to get into weeds now. This is almost a teaser of the content to come, so we're already jumping into that. What's coming out this month? I'm going to do a video about Experience Vinyl, but I am going to give you a teaser. This is a test pressing of a new album coming out from a group called Warhorse, and this is sort of this jammy rock extravaganza. That is, the frontman of Warhorse is Chan Kinchla, who is better known as being a guitarist of Blues Traveler. He has, over COVID, he kind of formalized his little local jam band with a bunch of LA's finest musicians, and they put together an album called Warhorse. And really, all these songs came together from them just jamming out and playing things live, and eventually they had a big enough catalog, and they put them together. So I'm sharing that with you because that's one of the cool things that I was able to acquire from Experience Vinyl, from the label. There's only 3 of these test pressings in the world, and I was very fortunate and blessed to be able to get a copy. So thank you, Seth, if you're watching this. Thank you again for welcoming me and my family to your studio, to your label, and for trusting me with this test pressing. It really means a lot. But why they gave it to me, you're probably wondering, why me? Why would they give me the Warhorse, one of 3 test pressings, is because I actually had the pleasure to interview Chan Kinchla. We're going to be talking all about Warhorse, how it started, how it created, what's the story and the meaning behind the record, the album, how it all kind of came together. and then what's next for the band, if you will. So there's an in-depth interview. It runs about just shy of 30 minutes, coming out soon. The band manager and the label just approved the interview, so now it's just a scheduling thing, and I'm hoping it will come out here in October. With these things, with new albums, you have to make sure that you're on some sort of PR schedule. So I'm going to be working that out with them, but my hopes is that you're going to have that interview with y'all this month. So I'm looking forward to that. I also have an interview set up with Matt Fiedler. He is the interim CEO of Vinyl Me Please, and we have that call set up actually next week to film. So I'm hoping that interview will get booked, edited, and released to you. And I'm going to be honest with you folks, I'm asking him, and he knows this going into it, but we're asking him the burning questions. The questions that have been circulating on the internet about the state of VMP, we're going to be addressing head on. I got my questions. I did my homework. I don't know the answers yet, so I can't tease you guys anything. But we really want to get down to, what's going on in the world of VMP. How are some of these recent announcements that we're all hearing, impacting the company for the long term? And maybe we can get a glimpse from Matt on what the future of VMP, what's in the future of VMP. Why are we making all these changes? There's got to be a reason behind them, a long-term plan. And I'm going to see what I can get from Matt out of that to kind of shine some light on some folks that are nervous right now about the health of VMP and if you should maintain your subscription or not. That's what I'm really hoping to do. I just want to have answers. I think once we have clear answers, we can make clear decisions. And I'm hoping that this interview with Matt will help clear things up. So Matt agreed to be on the show, on the program here. So looking forward to him and taking the time to interview him. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm also hoping that we can get a lot of answers for it. And I think it's cool that a CEO is willing to sit down with itty bitty me, Vinyl Latte, to talk to you all about what's going on in the world of VMP. That's really cool. So there's a lot of big things happening for the channel. Got a rock star on the channel interviewed. Got a CEO of a very, probably one of the leading subscription services for vinyl records out there in the marketplace. So that's really cool. And then we're also putting together a Audiophile series with my new friend, Shane, who runs Aussie Audiophile channel. If you're not familiar with the channel, I highly recommend you subscribe. I've actually been a subscriber for a little while. So that was kind of cool that now it's like, going from being a fan to having my own channel to now a collaboration with somebody that I've been following for a while. It's a cool, unique journey, I think. But we're going to be tackling the questions that more for people, I think, are on the road or very interested in becoming an audiophile or on that road. Kind of things that audiophiles just don't think about as much, but can make big impacts. And we're going to be covering everything. We're going to be covering cabling and what's snake oil, what's not snake oil. We're going to be covering things like, does isolation really matter? How the importance of calibration, especially when it comes to things to like turntables. And a part of this series, what we're working on doing is aligning interviews up with some of the more predominant folks in the industry to also bring in as a third-party expert on the subject. So this is a collaboration. I've been getting up early every Wednesday morning to work with Shane on this for almost the last month and a half. And we finally, I think, have the outline of what we're going to do, and we're drafting questions for folks, and we're getting people locked in for meetings. So this is going to be a really cool series, I think. I know some folks in the channel have commented on my beginners videos saying there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect. You're an audiophile kind of guy. You're into hi-fi equipment, but yet you're doing all these beginning videos. Listen, I'm not trying to pigeonhole myself into any particular genre or field, if you will. No, I'm not trying to go vertical. I'm trying to go horizontal. There's folks that watch this channel because I do a lot of record chats that are just new to vinyl records. And I wish when I was getting started, I wish somebody would have sat down with me and told me what I should be looking for. What are good tools to clean and care for my records? What are good turntables to use or to buy? What should be my first turntable? What to look out for, what not to look out for. So I'm trying to share the knowledge, kind of share that down, train the next generation. But what's interesting about this partnership with Shane is that he's even a level above me. I mean, he's got equipment that I can only dream of, and people come and watch my channel and say they can only dream about having my gear. But he's in the next level. I mean, he's a true audiophile through and through. I would put myself more in the hi-fi world, which is, to me, I mean, maybe you feel differently, but I feel like that's a little bit of a step below true audiophile. I feel like I'm kind of mid-audiophile with the gear and equipment that I have and the attention to detail and the knowledge that I have. But Shane's next level, man, so I think you're really going to enjoy him, and you don't have to wait for the series to come out. You just go over there, check him out, and hit subscribe. I got some great reviews coming up. We got, I spent about 2 weeks now with the new HumminGuru NOVA. I've cleaned close to 100 and some records with it. So getting deeply familiar with it. This weekend, I'm going to work on putting together an interview with it. I hope that I get it finished, but I'm hoping to get that out to you in the next week or two. If everything goes as planned this weekend, you should hopefully have it next week. Worst case, I'll need to do a little bit more recording, which could take a few days just because of so many other things going on in my personal life. But I'm going to try to get that out to you. I would say within 10 more days. That's the goal. That's my promise and commitment. Hopefully by next Friday. That's my tentative schedule, by the way. Next Friday is to have that out to you. But we'll see. A little dust flying around. I'm also getting sent a pair of AudioQuest Robin Hood cables. Going to be taking a look at those. If you're not familiar, I currently run transparent cables, which are decent cables. They're the transparent super speaker cables. All my interconnects are already AudioQuest. And I actually met with AudioQuest at AudioVice Live in Raleigh about 2 months ago now. And we've been in conversations. So they're going to be sending me over some Robin Hood cables. They believe that that's going to give me a very noticeable sound difference going to these cables from the transparent, which I'm willing to try this out because those transparent cables, they're not cheap. They're fairly expensive cables. So will they make really a difference? We're going to find out together. I'm going to kind of capture the journey with y'all. And then I'm going to do I might invite one of my buddies over who has a very good trained ear as well to kind of come over and maybe share his thoughts. Maybe he'll be willing to even come on a channel with me and talk about these cables and if they really make a difference or not. So maybe this is a little bit of a prelude into do cables matter? We're going to find out together. I don't know. I'm coming in as a very unbiased. It means nothing to me if these cables work or they don't work. So I'm going to give you a raw, authentic review. I'm going to tell you if it's worth the money or not. I've reviewed things before. I've previewed things before, and they're not worth the money. Sometimes I don't talk about them because I'm trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. But listen, you guys need to know if this stuff is really worth it or not. So I'm going to start sharing things that maybe don't perform as well. I'm not going to just give you good reviews. I'm going to give you the bad ones too, I guess. So other reviews coming up. I got the Stack Audio. AUVAs, these are the EQs, so they're for the equipment. I've been running those now for about 3 months on my turntable in various different configurations. I finally think I found a configuration I really like. So I'm going to be doing a video on those, giving you what I think the differences are and kind of sharing a little bit of my isolation journey with you because it's been a journey. So I think it's going to be hopefully a good video for those that are looking on options to provide isolation for their turntable. To give you some ideas here, I've also been playing around with isoacoustics isolation as well. So that's what we're going to be talking about is a little bit about isolation as it comes to the turntable. And lastly, I've teased this out last month, but I didn't have the opportunity to get it recorded, but it's on my calendar. So I built out a calendar literally every month. You want to know what goes behind the scenes here, folks? I build out a calendar of all the videos that I want to create, whether it's a short or full-length video, and I literally, that's like my work schedule. You know how if you go into work and you're like, these are the things I need to do today? When I sit down in front of my computer, these are the things I need to do. And I mark them complete, and when they're published, I mark them that they're published. Like I am holding myself accountable to you to create content. So I apologize that this next one didn't come on the list, but it is on the schedule for this month. The reason this one got punted is just because it requires a lot of work to put this video together because there's so much information, and that's the WAM Engineering cartridge inspection. This is where you send your cartridge to WAM Engineering in California, and they will literally analyze the heck out of it, and then come back to you with a full report on everything about your cartridge, including how to set it up and calibrate it properly for the best optimal sound. They'll even give you custom shims, and for an upcharge, you can get a brass shim, which is what I chose. But you can get a custom shim that also helps with a lot of correction to minimize the level of effort it requires you to set up the cartridge correctly at home. So I'm going to be talking about that experience. We're going to get into the cost of the service, the experience of the service. We're also going to get into what I would call the hidden costs, because there's some hidden costs, things that you need to be able to do the measurements and everything correctly. So we're going to get into that in a full-length video. So the other thing I want to start talking to y'all about, and I almost need your comments below if this is something that you agree on, but you know, I want to start maybe transitioning away from doing these big haul videos. I do a lot of these like, here's my latest grabs, and I go through anywhere from 15 to 30 records in a single video. And I tend to try to be creative on this. I try to sometimes tell you a little bit about the history of the album, key tracks on there, things to go stream for new music. I sometimes will talk to you about Discog score and compare it to mine. Like I've been trying to be creative in a way to share this with you, but it's a lot of work, and the videos they don't perform great, especially for the level of effort that goes into them. So I'm thinking about dialing that back and more maybe doing, I don't know if it's going to be a weekly video or a monthly video, but like, here's my highlights. These are the key albums that I've got for the month or for the week or every 2 weeks. I haven't figured that part out yet, but here's just some highlights, right? And instead of going through every single record, maybe I'm only talking about my top 5 or my top 10 new acquisitions. I'm thinking about transitioning to that. So let me know. I mean, if you really are a fan and the reason you subscribed is because you like those big vinyl haul videos. I'm not talking about the mega hauls. I'm not talking about when I go bonkers and spend $2K on a bunch of records and sharing that with you. I'll still do those. And if I do a big traveling video where I visit some record store and I buy a bunch of records, like I'm still going to share those experiences with you. I'm more talking about the things I collect on a daily or weekly basis. Like I got a stack of records here that are queued up for me to talk to you about on an upcoming haul video, latest finds video, that I'm not really sure if I want to keep doing. Mainly because, like I said, the performance. See, as a creator, I want to do things that you care about. And if there's no interaction and you're not really interacting with me, you're not really leaving comments, especially when I'm saying, hey, what's your favorite song on this particular album? You know, like, hey, let's talk about this new Thug Life repress. Let's talk about this. Here's the cool songs from this album. What's your favorite? When I don't hear anything, I just think people don't care. And I want to create content that people care about. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about switching more to a focus. And then perhaps even doing more things like deeper dive on particular artists. So we talked about, Thug Life album, which is really popular because of Tupac. I have Tupac's entire discography, all on vinyl, which is very, very rare. It's a very hard and difficult collection, an expensive collection to collect. But I have it, right? So I could go days just talking about Tupac's collection, whether it's, the history behind the albums, top albums to the least favorite albums, the harder ones to collect, the story behind where I got the albums, my favorites. Like I can come up with content for days on just Tupac alone just because there's so many albums in that discography. So I'm thinking about more focusing on videos about a particular group or band or musician, and giving them out to you versus doing these hauls. I'd like to get your thoughts below for the real fans here that watch these channel updates, that are hardcore Vinyl Latte fans. I like to know what you want to see, because that's where I'm going to go pivot. That's not the ask, by the way. I still have my ask at the beginning of the video. Remember I said there's a way you can help me? That's not it. That's just something I've been considering doing. I'm going to get to the ask in a moment, but I do get questions sometimes on what I'm pre-ordering, what I have on the truck. So let me share with you some of the pre-orders I have. Now, some of these I didn't just pre-order this month, but I never really ran through my pre-order list with y'all before. So I'm going to do that now. And then maybe on these monthly videos, I can run through these pre-orders with you. This video is already getting a little bit long, so I'm not going to give you all the background between all these videos, but I'm sorry, all these albums. But I will at least tell you what I have on the truck. So, of course, I had to. After 16 years and 14 studio album, The Cure double LP of Songs of the Lost World, I pre-ordered that. I had to get that directly from the Cure website. My local wasn't able to pre-order the double LP. They could get the single LP, and I think they could get the Ghost White LP, which tells me they're going to be more mass-produced. But they could not get the double LP. Now, is that just because of their distributor? I'm not sure, but I went ahead and grabbed the double LP, thinking that if I want to grab the single LP later, it's going to be more widely available. I don't think I'm going to have a hard time grabbing it. I also pre-ordered, it's come in, I haven't had a chance to grab it yet, which is the 10,000 Maniacs MTV Unplugged. I'm actually really looking forward to that. It's one of my favorite albums. It's in my top favorite album. I have a lot of favorite albums, so it's in my top list. I've been really wanting that on vinyl, so I'm really happy that's there. I just got to go pick it up. I also pre-ordered the Beatles mono box set. I know there's a lot of Beatles fans that are like, no way I'm pre-ordering that. It's very expensive for what you're getting. I think it's even $100 cheaper if you just buy all the records independently. They aren't producing one of the records and you don't get the box. Is it really worth $100 for all of that? I think the general consensus is probably not, but I like collecting Beatles stuff, so I want the box set. So for me, it's worth it. For a lot of other folks, it won't be. It's probably smarter just to buy the albums you want individually. So, but I do have the Beatles box set on pre-order. I did that through my local, supporting them. I also ordered the Bluesville, the acoustic sounds and craft collaboration on Bluesville. Albert King and Lightning Hopkins is in. I just have to go pick it up. It's been in for a while. I just haven't made it to my local in a couple weeks. And then the Reverend Gary Davis and Jimmy Reed is on pre-order. Of course, I had to pre-order the real Warhorse, the official LP. So even though I have the test pressing, I do have the Warhorse LP on pre-order. You can grab that from Experience Vinyl. They're the only, it's not Experience Vinyl, even though they're the label and they produce the album. My understanding is that it's not going to be exclusive to Experience Vinyl. At least that's my understanding, but the only place you can go pre-order it today is Experience Vinyl, and I would recommend to do that because I'm not really certain. I know it will be available in streaming, all right, but we'll talk about all that on the interview. I also grabbed the Elliott Smith from Experience Vinyl. This is from A Basement on a Hill. Grabbed their Blues Traveler live at the print shop. From Acoustic Sounds, I picked up the next two Steely Dans. You got Katy Lied and the Royal Scam. So looking forward to those coming out. They've been delayed, and they were just delayed again after Chad announced firm release dates. He says that it's because of the label, basically. They're pushing it out to next year. So there's something going on there. I don't know. Maybe they're not selling as many as they need to continue to get the licensing. I have no idea. I'm not going to speculate, but there's something going on there. Maybe somebody has more insight. I am a Andrea Bocelli fan, so I picked up the Duets album. It's the 30th anniversary edition, and also Il Maria Calmo della Sera. That's Andrea's launch album. That was his debut album, and I think it's probably been I don't know. I don't know how many years. It's been a long time. But they're actually reissuing that, repressing that album as well. Both are available in pre-order on his website. I grabbed both. I did grab the Ludacris Chicken and Beer album, which I don't think you can pre-order anymore. I think that's sold out. I'm just waiting for that to get shipped. And also sticking in the realm of hip-hop, I pre-ordered the Eminem Death of Slim Shady album. I think I got both of the color variations pre-order. I'm just waiting for that to come out. I think it's so silly that you can stream the album to death today, but you can't get the physical media. I don't understand why you would. I'm sure there's reasonings behind it, but like, I like when the album and the streaming come out the same day at least, because it allows me to discover the album. Like I like putting on the LP, the actual vinyl record, and listening to it as a way to discover the music. So I don't stream a lot. Luckily, I have my services, I have my playlist, and that's what I listen to. But I've been trying to avoid hearing songs from Eminem's new album because I want to experience it like brand new when I finally get the record. But it's going to be months. I think it's not coming out until like November or something. Also, from Vinyl Me, please order the Def Jam box set, I Need a Beat. I know this one, a lot of folks were like, this is very expensive box set, and choices seem to be a little bit all over. I don't know. I like the choices, and I got to say, VMP hasn't done me a box set wrong. I've been going through the Impulse box set. I owe you a review on that. I'm still trying to get through the albums. I've been doing a lot of traveling, and we've had just a lot of family stuff come up recently. But so far, I'm very impressed with the quality of the box set, which I think I talk about in the unboxing, but also just the way these albums sound are just phenomenal. These are becoming the definitive pressings of these albums now. Like when I'm going to go listen to, Jazz Reggae from Gaber Zabo, I'm going to go to this pressing of it. So I'm really happy with their box sets. I don't think they could do wrong. I also picked up their Story of Blue Note, and then I have a bunch of other just pre-orders on them that's just delayed. I'm caught up in all the delays just like you, but I got the D'Angelo Voodoo, the NWA For Life, Young Thug, So Much Fun, Joe Bataan, Singing Some Soul, the Black Keys Magic Potion, the Footloose soundtrack. I actually bought the Footloose soundtrack or pre-ordered it because I thought this is the first time I did this, by the way, but I thought the packaging was really cool. I'm like, that's really unique. I'm going to pick it up. And then Laurie Anderson, Landfall, and of course the Exploration of Sound Volume 1. I think that's it on the pre-orders. There's probably some others. I think there are some others, quite honestly, that is just escaping my mind right now. So, yeah, a lot of new records to come. In what I like going back, I think it would be cooler to dive into some of these and do more reviews on how they sound and talk about the bands and their discography a little bit more, make it a more music oriented versus me just going through a list of records saying, oh, this is what I bought. This is the pressing I have. This is how it sounds, unless you disagree. All right. Let me wrap this up here. We've been going on for a while. My coffee's starting to get a little bit on the cold side. I need your help. Do I look different? I'm sure I do. I used to be an illusionist for like 7 years, and we would call this a color change, where you would change your outfit into another one. The reason for that is that as I was asking for my big ask, how I need your help in a community, my camera decided that it was going to overheat. Now, I think it's a conspiracy with the internet. They don't want me to ask you for this help, but I'm going to get this message out no matter what. I'm firm on it. I've had a great idea, which I think is a great idea because it's in my brain, and all ideas in my brain are great ideas. I've had a great idea that I would really like to have a series on the channel that features you. Let me explain. One of the greatest things I enjoy the most when I travel is going to visit different record stores. Even my wife now has grown accustomed to the fact that anytime we travel, even on family vacation, we go visit a record store. We just build it into the agenda. And sometimes I don't buy anything. I just love to go. It's going there, meeting with folks, getting the vibe, learning about what is cool and unique about their store, how long they've been in business, what do they specialize in. And I always love asking this question: what is the one rare thing or coolest thing that you've seen come in recently? I always love that because it just opens up so much conversation. And that's honestly how sometimes you find some of the best finds at a record store. With that being said, with a little bit of inspiration from Channel 33 and their Vinyl Den, where people send them pictures and photos of their actual listening space, I always thought it'd be cool to do the same, but with record stores. Being able to have you at home submit to me photos, anywhere from 5 to 6 different photos about your favorite record store, your local, telling me a little bit about maybe whatever where maybe it's located, town and city, how long you've been shopping there, what are some of your latest grabs, what are they known for? Why would I, as if I was traveling through your town, want to stop and check out your local? And I always thought that kind of series would be a lot of fun. It's something I'm passionate about doing, visiting different record stores. And I'm asking you at home. I've made this outreach on Discord a few times and people have committed to submitting me some content, but it just never happened. So now I'm asking you all, the loyal followers, the ones that watch these channel updates, that care about the content that comes out of this channel. I'm asking you for help. If this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the description for you to reach out to me. And if I can at least get 4 people from home, you watching viewers, to submit some photos and a quick write-up about your local, probably won't only take you a few minutes to put together. If I can at least get 4, I think I can make a video with 4. If I have more, great. And what I would love this to be is an ongoing series where people could submit their record stores and we can have a nice little ongoing series, because I think it would be a lot of fun and it'll be a little bit different than what Channel 33 is doing. It's not going to step on their toes, and it'll be something that I'm passionate about doing, which is, of course, going around and visiting and documenting record stores, which most of those I put in my shorts. So if you're not watching the shorts and you like seeing different record stores, that's something for you to do. Listen, I got to let you go. I have to start the day job now, and it's been a pleasure to speaking with you. It's been a great month, despite some of the tragedies that our country is facing as a whole right now, especially with our folks down in the Asheville area of North Carolina and other folks in Georgia and Florida with the hurricane. Besides some of that's going on, it's been a great month for the channel. For the channel, it's been a fantastic month. Thank you for another 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for engaging, sharing this with your friends, and being plugged in. And thank you for spending your day with me, and being such a loyal follower of the channel. Thank you so much. I'm going to go get a fresh cup of joe, and I'll see you on the next episode.